Hello, welcome back to the PoddiMouths podcast. I am Peyton Cubic, and this is where my dad and his friend John talk about random stuff in life or the things they found on the internet. I hope you enjoy listening to this episode as much as I did. Here they are now.
And we're in.
If you're just joining us,
I'm not just joining. I've been here a while.
You didn't hear Nick singing the countdown numbers 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It was delightful, actually. You have a very nice voice.
I've been practicing. I warmed up my voice today. I was on a lot of phone calls.
Oh,
it's just one of those days, you know.
Did you sing on the phone calls?
No, but it warmed up my voice enough where I could carry such a lovely tune as I was counting backwards from 5.
Yeah, you sounded like who was the lady that sang "God Bless America"? God bless America. Who did that?
I don't know, but if you're talking about Christmas Vacation.
No, I'm not.
Do you remember the old lady?
Course.
Yeah, that was a great. And I say that because strangely enough, I was talking about the Christmas Vacation today. I made a reference that very few people, most people don't get my references anyways.
Yes.
But I was on a call today and my boss had said something about hopefully we don't flip the wrong switch and make all the lights dim when we turn this new website on. And I said, listen here, Clark, that's not going to happen. And of course, nobody got my joke. I had to explain it to everybody.
Oh, that's never good.
It's never good.
No.
You got my joke though, right?
Well, I did. It was Aunt Clara, right? She was singing "God Bless America."
Yes. Yep. Yes. So Clark obviously is Chevy Chase's character in Christmas Vacation. But
and it was his
I wanted to. It would have been very inappropriate though because my boss's boss was also on the call. But I was trying to explain it to everybody. I was talking about all of the cultural references that are huge from that movie, including "Shitter's full." You know, that's probably my favorite line in that whole movie.
But even the stuff that wasn't surrounding the lines, which were awesome, obviously, clearly, but like the moose head cups, remember those?
Yes.
And those things are like $40 each on Amazon.
I know, it's crazy, and I know people that have those, and they use them every year.
Yeah,
I'm not going to deny. I looked at them too. $40 was a little bit too rich for my blood.
A little rich for mine too, just because I know I could see myself breaking them without.
Yeah. Speaking of being rich for your blood, you said something earlier on the call that you immediately took back because you said, "I promise never to say it like that," but you did.
Yes.
What did you do, John? What did you do?
Quicker.
What did you buy?
Well, this was one of those things where we were leisurely looking for vehicles, and when you're raised in the car business, you're always leisurely looking for a vehicle.
Yes.
But it's different today because I looked at Auto Trader, I looked at Car Gurus, and those are probably my two favorite.
Okay,
because both of them detail the number of owners for each vehicle, and we started out looking at convertibles. We live in Florida,
why not?
Convertible. You would think, I would think, why not? Except you do not get the chance to drop the top on a convertible in Florida that often.
Right.
You can do it 3 or 4 months on it, 5 months, whatever.
Sure.
But you just don't. It's hotter than a mad dog, and you're going to want the top up and the air conditioning on. So, and plus of all the issues sometimes with convertible tops, when the mechanical things that have, especially you look at some of them these days. And if you're looking at German cars, which I was, they have hard tops that fold away, and you go, "Oh crap!" Because this always reminds me of the 1966 Lincolns that the 4-door convertible, suicide doors, that had hard top convertibles, and those things were notorious for having troubles with the convertible mechanism. So anyway, long story short, ended up looking at coupes and found one that was a one owner. It did not come from New Jersey. Sorry, New Jersey people.
It's all right. My Mercedes came from New Jersey.
I don't want a car down here that came from up there because you just never know. So it was bought new in Sarasota. It was traded in, different dealership, but a half a mile away down the street. in Sarasota, and we found this one owner car. And so I thought, you know what, let's just do it if they'll come to my price. Buying cars down here is different. It's been a long time since I sold a car in Florida.
Okay.
I ran a dealership in Florida, so it's not like I don't get it.
Right.
But dock fees, you've seen.
Yes.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
And license plate
they're not
fees,
capped in Florida, right?
Apparently not. And everybody is, on this level. And then, they automatically do, well, we did the exterior and the interior cleanup and etched glass. And the whole time it was the best story ever, because I'm sitting there across from Lisa. She's hungry. We're just going to drive this and look
that's
at
the
it.
Worst.
And we're leaving town the next day. And so I'm like, we're not doing this. Sadly, it's the end of the month. So they wanted us to do it. And so we're there way longer than we should have been, because Lisa, I love my wife, and when she gets hungry, I know it's time to move out.
Yeah.
So as she claims it, at some point she's 10 minutes away from becoming a different person. And I don't like that person she becomes. So when she's hungry, I want her fed, as they would say up north. So anyway, she had a couple of bars that I had in the truck. So
okay,
as we're talking, I'm telling this guy, I'm not paying this. I'll just talk to you about out the door numbers. If you can do this, fine. If not, no offense, you've been great. We're just going. And don't test me, because I've been around the car business way too long. Yeah, and here's my number. And he said, I'll go talk to him. And Lisa goes, I've never been so hot for you. And this is why I love my wife.
Nice.
She's just the best. Anyway, she is hungry and tired of being there, but whatever. It's a car for her, and it's a great looking car. Long story short, we ended up with it, and it's sitting in the garage where it'll be for 95% of the time. And now my truck is in the driveway, because we have a 3-car garage. We've talked about this.
Yep.
The Harley and the BMW sit in the garage.
The what?
The BMW. I'm not saying Beamer, because
you just did.
She doesn't want me to call it a Beamer. It's whatever. It's a Bavarian Motorworks vehicle.
There you go. Okay.
And and my truck now is sitting outside, and I'm not a happy man about that.
I bet not. It's too bad. You'll just have to figure it out.
That's the long story. We're going to add on to the garage. I think a 5-car garage for 3 vehicles should be fine. Yeah,
I want that. But speaking of convertibles, so I've owned a convertible now. I've leased a convertible now
for many years,
for 2.5 years.
Over the course of time, many years.
Well, yes, that too. But those are different. This one is my first 4-door, and I've had it has freedom tops, so it has like a T-top, right? You take the freedom tops out all the time. I've taken the doors off, but I've never taken the whole top off, like the back.
Do you have is there like you have a pulley thing?
Nope.
I mean, is it a big?
It's
is
big.
It a big thing that
it is a big thing.
Can you lift it yourself?
If it were you and me, it would not have been a big thing, but it was me and Jen, and Jen. She's a dancer. Most of her strength is in her legs, not in her arms. So it was a struggle. And she's
still strong. She's in good shape.
She's strong, but she's shorter. So, she can't, when you're holding your arms straight out, trying to lift something that's, 100 pounds, then it's a little bit more difficult.
Yep.
So, but she helped me. We did get it off. But we took the top off. And so my Jeep is naked right now.
You have a picture?
And I do have a picture.
Okay, good. This is so
don't pay attention to my garage, because the garage is a storage unit for all of our dance studio stuff that we don't have a studio for. Can you see that?
Oh, that's
awesome. A little blurry.
Oh, that's really cool. It is a little blurry, but it looks great.
I can fix the blurry. Hold on.
Awesome.
There you go.
Oh, you sure can.
So, yeah.
Oh, that looks great. And
so
have the lid right next to it. Cool.
Yep. So she's topless.
It looks really good.
It does look really good.
So's the Jeep.
Yeah, exactly. But this is probably it was the first time, and probably the last time I'm going to be taking that top off, because we've talked about it on the podcast. I am going to turn it in at the end of the lease, but it's hard for me to say that, but I'm going to turn it in. I've still got 7 months, so I've got some time, but
All right, since we're showing vehicles.
There we go. Ooh, and it's a white one too. Very nice. Very pretty.
It's Florida, and there's my truck sitting outside.
I thought you said it was a convertible.
It's no, we opted not to.
Okay.
Because I don't want the breakdown potential of the.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So it's a sunroof, and it'll probably never be
good
open.
enough. It's good enough.
We have a Harley. If I want my hair blowing in the wind, hop on the Harley.
Well, and see, I was talking to a friend who, friend/coworker, but she actually rode in my Jeep right after I got it, and then went out and got herself one.
Oh.
And it's virtually identical. The only difference is hers is a Sierra and mine, or Sahara, and mine is a Rubicon. So a little bit of a difference there. But so we compare notes all the time. Cool. But I was telling her earlier that the biggest thing, and folks, if I know some of you have heard me talk about this because I've talked to you directly about it, but the Jeep is my love. I love the Jeep. Peyton does love the Jeep too, but the Jeep is my love. It doesn't fit the mission. And what I mean by that is,
I was going to ask,
if I were to buy it out, it would be a toy / daily driver, but I want to do the camping thing. I want to do the road trip thing and all of those different things. If it's just myself and Jen or myself and Peyton, perfect. You can get all the gear you want in there. It fits and everything fits. But if you add the third person and 2 dogs, and then all of the gear without getting a trailer.
But how often does that happen?
I would like to do it more often than we do. At least twice a year. But the problem is it's so miserable because we're all jam packed in there.
You're talking about you, Jen, and Peyton, and the 2 puppies,
and all of the camping gear and all of the stuff that we would put in the back. Yes,
I suppose. Yeah.
It doesn't fit the bill for what we. And Jen won't let me get a Gladiator, and we don't have room to store a trailer or an RV
because they're ugly. Because
they're ugly, exactly. Yeah,
seriously,
that's exactly. Yes.
Well,
she said no, they're
Lisa
ugly
too. Tell Jen that Lisa's with her on that. What makes them not as ugly is a big wheel and tire package and a lift kit.
That's what I said.
It's true.
Yeah,
of course, because that's what you want anyway.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to help. But they are less ugly that way. But the long wheelbase, she would fall in love with that driving in it.
I think so. Well, I mean, we have one. We don't have a Gladiator, but we have basically a different version of Gladiator.
Wheelbase is longer in a Gladiator than yours.
In the Wrangler. No, I'm talking about the other little truck that I have that's supposed to be the Jeep replacement that I shall not mention on this call this podcast.
Yes, I know. That's true. Although, but it's different. It's still a little.
It is very different. Now that particular truck is also leased. So if I end up buying that out, which is a good possibility, if I end up buying that out, I will probably lift it. And that was something I was talking about this mutual friend about too, is because I was talking about this truck. It's really weird going from the Wrangler to the truck, even though the truck sits higher than most vehicles. It feels like I'm riding in a car.
Really? Compared to the Wrangler?
Compared to the Wrangler, yeah. Because first of all,
because why?
It's a couple of reasons. One, it does sit lower, even though this particular truck is the off-road package. It's not doesn't have the suspension like the Jeep.
Why can't you talk about what it is?
Excuse me, because I don't want to. So
I suppose this is one of those things we should talk about before we start. But
exactly, I'll tell you later.
Why?
I'll tell you
later. It's like a benefit thing. Okay, fine, whatever.
Anyway,
but
it sits lower.
You tell me later, and I'm going to tell the listeners later. I'll just take them aside.
Sure,
I'll get back to you. Okay, go ahead.
PoddiMouths after dark.
I like it.
I knew you would.
I knew you would. I will wear pants though,
anyway,
still, no matter what.
But no matter what. So whether it's this or a Gladiator, but it has 4 doors, 4 seats. The pups can fit in there. Peyton, we can fit in there, and then everything can go in the truck bed, which is bigger than the backseat of a Jeep Wrangler. And then we can get the rack, which I didn't get. I think I told you that I didn't get the rack with it, but I can get the rack and put a rooftop tent on, or I can add a box cover or even a tonneau cover.
Sure.
A tonneau cover would work. And all the gear could go back there and we'd have plenty of space. So that truck technically fits that mission. And we can also use
Or-
it for the business for carrying Marley,
Sure.
which is the flooring and stuff like that, which is what we intended on using it for, because we needed that.
Or
and what?
you could get an F-150.
Well, I told you the reason I got the mid-size truck was because
Yes.
the full-size
It
truck
fit
was
in
too
the
expensive.
garage.
No,
Oh,
it fits.
Not used.
Yeah, it does. Oh yeah, buddy.
Not
You
pre-owned.
underestimate the deal I got on this truck.
Perhaps, but I have the good deal on the F-150 in the driveway.
There you go.
Sadly, in the driveway now.
In the driveway, yeah.
But yeah.
Well, all
But
that to
there's
say,
so much
right
room
now,
in that. Oh my gosh! Yeah.
I know. I wanted that was my goal. I
Yeah.
wanted a full size truck. I didn't want a mid size truck. I could not
Would it fit
justify.
in the garage?
No, the mid size truck. See, you're going to trick me into saying it. The mid size truck actually barely fits in. Like the bumper is almost touching whatever's in front of it, because there are a couple shelves. It's all the same size. It all sticks out the same. But I've got shelves. I've got a cabinet, and I've got junk. And the bumper will almost touch. Like it'll be half an inch from that, because it's got a camera on the front so you can see it. But then you close the garage door, and it's missing the garage door by about half an inch. So it barely fits in the garage when we put it in the garage. Right now, that truck is sitting out in the driveway because the top to the Wrangler and the Wrangler without the top is sitting in the garage.
Saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the, and I get it. The F-150 only fit in at a drastic angle. I think you saw that when you were here. It's crazy. But yeah, not necessary anymore with the BMW.
Yeah, you got to do what you got to do. I will when all the tops are on and stuff. I will, if there's thunderstorms. With my cars, I am deathly afraid of hail. I don't know if it's an irrational fear, but I do not want my car sitting outside if there's a chance that it's going to hail. So I will pull both vehicles into the garage right now when there's a chance of hail. So I'll take the mid-size truck. Almost got me there. I almost said it. I'll take that mid-size truck and I'll put it. So if you're facing the garage, it's a 2-car garage, but we've got a lot of stuff in there. I've already said that. Both cars will fit in there, but on the left-hand side, I'll back the truck in and I'll fold down one of the mirrors so it's almost against the wall coming in. It's as close to the wall as I can get without being at an angle. So you can't get in the passenger side. Then I'll pull the Jeep in on the right side. And there's a reason for that, because the Jeep, one, it has half the cable that goes across, but also there's less room on the right side because of the stairway. So the Jeep fits all the way in. But I have to put fold the mirror down and put the Jeep as far to the right as I possibly can.
It's
so you can't get in the passenger side.
Know.
Yeah. But then you've got enough space to open barely the doors, which we never had the problem when Jen had her SUV, and because it was a much smaller one, and when I had the Mercedes, we never had a problem with that stuff. But it's now you've got 2 larger vehicles and they barely fit. I told her I wanted a new house mainly for that reason. I don't like not having enough space in the garage.
I think your next barn dominium with the big shop in the back, I think that's going to be perfect.
That's appropriate. I can figure out how to jam more stuff in there.
Of course you can. We were talking at the beginning, just briefly, talking a little bit about maybe doing a happy hour. And one of us is. Because it's a late-ish evening. And
it is Thursday. It's Thursday evening.
But I have an hour on you. So that's part of it. That's part of the reason.
That's not
the other
the main
part is
part,
you still
though.
have work to do.
No, you
still have work to do, and I don't. I'm going to mess around for the rest of the evening.
You're still missing one point that we talked about. I purposely don't try. I try not to drink during the week.
It's Thursday night. It's not like it's really during the week.
I am very good about that, and I will wait until Friday, and I will have a cocktail on Friday.
Your boss is listening, and
my boss
saying
doesn't
it's
listen
just
to
because
this.
Of that. He should.
He should. I keep telling him that, but he doesn't.
Well, he's actually working, unlike us. But you will be later, so that's in your favor. Anyway, the happy hour, I just wanted to bring out, this is Lisa's mom's glass. And it's not, she never owned it, but Lisa and her sisters and all her aunts, who were her mom's sisters, we all got one of these awesome, it's like a Waterford crystal, something like that. Very nice. And when her mom passed away, we used these to remember her. And so I thought, you know what? It would be fun for one of us to do a happy hour with the Connie
I love it.
glass. And so I'm delighted to do that.
So I don't think our
that's why I'm
listeners
sipping
know.
and he's not.
I don't think our listeners know the backstory, a little bit more of the backstory on why you even have that right now, and why we missed last week's or 2 weeks ago's podcast recording.
Because why? I don't know. That was no, it was Lisa's dad.
Oh,
not her mom.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I got that one confused in my head. I apologize.
Sorry, so I'll tell the story. No,
okay.
It was Lisa's bio dad who got divorced from her mom. Let's see, it would be 55 years ago. And so it's a long time ago. Anyway, but her dad recently passed, but he was 90 years old, and that was great. And her mom passed, gosh, it's been almost 20 years now. And so, yeah, but she was raised by her mom and stepdad. So
you can understand my confusion, though. Yeah,
well, for sure, because I just figured it out last week. And we've been married 37 years almost.
Wow.
Assuming we make it to October. So she'd be disappointed if I didn't say that. So anyway, but it was nice to see her stepmom. We got a chance to see her dad before he passed a couple of times in the last year. And so, it was a blessing. Nice to see the family.
It's a really good lesson there in punctuation, because what I heard as you were saying that is when he passed away a couple of times last year.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was slowing down. It was like it's sort of like the because I'm drinking this, I probably can't think of it, but it's something about grandma. Is it time to eat, grandma, or is it time to eat, grandma?
Exactly.
You want to make sure you have the punctuation in there correctly. You are talking to someone. Is that Peyton?
Well, it was because it is the dog's dinner time. It's actually way past dog's dinner time. Well, she's yelling at the dogs right now.
I don't.
She's coming in. She'll be in the screen here in just a second. There she is. You see her? Yep.
Hi, Peyton.
Say hi, Peyton.
Hi.
So it's way past the dog's dinner time, and when I don't know why, I don't feed the dogs.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if they need, if I'm the only one home, I feed the dogs. But it's Peyton's chore to feed the dogs.
Yes.
But at night, they will come up in my office and whine and look at me to
Where's
eat.
our food?
Where's our food? But it's not my job. I never feed you. Why are you up here? And Jen's home right now, and Peyton's home, and they're up here. I guess Mom's not home now. Begging me. So anyway, that's
you know what? And on the dog front, just real quickly, we as we have spoken, we sadly had to put our dog down almost a year and a half, 2 years ago now, and Indy, and he was a great dog. We've decided we're probably not going to do another one. We've instead become
dog sitters.
Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh. We had a friend's dog this last week, a 90-pound lab, and he was so much fun to have around. It was just awesome. But it's the old stuff just comes back to you. And obviously you'll be familiar with this. He's a black lab, and there was black dog hair
everywhere
in the house. And he'd come in my office, and I'd just turn around and I'd pet him in the mornings. And it was just a fun thing to do for a week. Yeah. And he'd just sit here and just, be so happy. And there were clumps of black all over this place. Anyway, so it was great and fun to do for a week. But here's the fun part. His dad called tonight and said, "Hey, we're back from vacation. Should we pick him up tonight, or would tomorrow be better?" Well, tomorrow's fine unless the kids miss him. And they've been talking. Okay, we'll see you at 3:00. He came over, picked him up, and we're like, "Come on," And so we're gonna miss him, I'm sure, the next few days.
I bet.
Pretty fun.
Yeah, it's
pretty funny.
I love my dogs. I love them to death.
Yes.
The one thing that I struggle with our current dogs,
Mhm.
tops down on the Jeep. You mentioned earlier, I've had tops
Yep.
off of my other Jeeps, and it's never this.
Yes.
It was never as big a deal, but it was also never a big deal to have my dogs come with me. Whether it's a Jeep
So
or any other car, they come with me. They're great. They behave. My
Yeah.
last few dogs, I didn't even have to have them. I know I always had them on a leash, of course, because that's the legal thing to do. But
Yeah.
I know
put
you
the
didn't have
tops
to have
down.
them on a leash because they would be right next to me, and they
Yep.
listen to me.
Pardon me, I'm listening.
I can't take either dog with me because they sing. So Peyton, I think I mentioned last week that Peyton has been doing the counselor and training at the farm next door, but I have to drop her off and I pick her up. I would love to take the dog with me, either of them or both of them. Just throw them in the car and just go and come back and let them run around the farm a little and stuff like. Nope, I can't do that with these dogs. And that's the one thing I really miss. And I've been joking about going to a shelter and getting another dog and separating them and training that dog. So I have a dog that I can take with me, because I always used to take my dogs anywhere that they were allowed. I would take my dogs with me. And I haven't been able to do that with these dogs.
So they sing when the windows are down too, or no?
Up, down, doesn't matter. Up, down. Just if you take Clyde's the worst.
Driving.
Even when you're driving, when you get somewhere where you go to the vet, I mean, it's just. Oh,
but that's so cute.
It's cute for the first 5 minutes. So we talked about the mission and taking him camping. I mean, we have CBD sticks to calm them. They're training sticks, and they max out at 2 sticks. That's all they can have for their weight.
Okay.
Before we even get in the car, two CBD sticks, and that just calms them enough where they only sing for about the first 20 minutes of the ride.
Oh,
then they'll calm down and do.
Funny.
Yeah, it's horrible. It's horrible.
Oh my gosh, how funny!
I miss having my 90-pound German Shepherd who'll just lay in the back seat and get hair everywhere.
Yeah.
Instead, I've got the 2 singing queens. King and queen, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, well, whatever.
Prince and princess is more accurate.
I didn't want to judge.
Yeah.
Did not want to judge.
But it's frustrating, but I love them. When they're home, they're fantastic. They're just big cuddle bugs. And,
they're just cute.
They're fantastic dogs. They don't travel well.
Cameras. You've shown them before, and they're beautiful.
They are. They're very pretty. I mean, they are.
Handsome.
They're handsome. Well, one's handsome, one's pretty.
Wow.
What they have in good looks, they lack in decorum.
Well, I don't know that many dogs that have a lot of decorum.
I just was looking for a word that fit. It's probably too big for this conversation.
No, I totally got it. But if you're doing the Westminster Kennel Show,
right? Because they're AKC.
They look like they have decorum, and they don't.
No,
that as soon as that cute little poodle walks off stage, she's dropping a load over someplace.
Having been a poodle dad of 2 standard poodles, poodles ain't cute, buddy. They ain't cute, and I'm using ain't purposely.
Well, it depends if you're talking about a miniature versus a
none
standard.
of them are cute. None of them are cute.
Some are. Well, look, when they shave them in the Westminster show, and they have the puffy things on the end of their paws, and I'm sorry, they are going for cute, whether they are or not.
No, that's weird. It's just weird. Just
it is kind of weird.
Most people think that they're French. They're not French. They're actually German. Did you know that?
German poodles. You've told us that before. Yeah. We all.
No, I kid. Hogan and Raisin were absolutely gorgeous when they were cut, not when they had the funky cut, but when they were just regular, maintenance cuts. They were really pretty dogs, and great dogs. So smart, too smart.
But try to do that puff cut with a German Shepherd once.
Yeah, no, they'd bite your head off.
No. They would. Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
German Shepherds are very smart. The biggest difference is poodles are not loyal. Poodles are just smart. Like they're mischievous in their brains. German Shepherds are very loyal.
Have you ever dealt with a Jack Russell Terrier?
Maybe not a purebred.
Oh, okay. But a mix of
yeah.
My brother and his family had a Jack Russell.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, what a smart dog.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
Oh my gosh, and so much fun, and which is good and bad. And if they're well trained, of course, it's wonderful. But wow, they are sharp, whip sharp.
Yeah. You know who else? What other dogs are smart, but they hide it behind their goofiness? Pugs. Pugs can be very, very smart, but they also know that they're cute, and they will play the clown. It's those are great dogs too. I would do another. I'm not a small dog person, but I would do another pug.
Mm-hmm.
And then Jen had a miniature schnauzer, and I would do another schnauzer.
Those I have heard are just really amazing. But there are so many that they're just, it's all about their personalities.
Yes.
And sometimes it's related to their breeding.
Yep.
Well, I mean, it usually is, I guess, but so often it's how they're raised too and how they're cared for. And they just develop these great personalities. So it's fun. It's interesting. As I told you, the 90-pound lab that just left. Next week, another friend is bringing over a 25-pound mix of some sort, and we've met him, and he would barely come up to us. He's a little spazzy, and so we'll see how that goes. That's going to be a little different story, I think, than it was with the lab.
So another dog that I absolutely hate. I'm going to use the hate. It's strong. I am not a big fan of min pins, miniature pinchers.
Well, I've never met one, but they're cute as heck.
They're cute, but maybe it was just the two that I've ever experienced, but my dad had one, and that dog only liked my dad. He wouldn't come anywhere. He would nip at you. He nipped at Peyton.
I wonder if that's but I wonder. That's weird. I wonder if that's a breed specific thing. I don't know.
The other one I experienced did the same thing, so I don't know. I really don't.
Oh, okay.
I don't know enough about them, but this one, and ironically, the dog's name was Sugar. It did not have. It had a lot of spice, but it didn't have anything nice.
Maybe that was the problem.
Maybe. Now I will. Sugar did actually warm up to me after a couple of years, and she would lay on
a couple of drinks.
Yeah, no. That dog needed a few.
She warmed up to me.
That dog needed a few. Yeah. But it took years, and it was only me. Like, still wouldn't go anywhere near Peyton. I don't think that dog ever went near my stepmom, and she lived there. But I probably reminded her enough of my dad that I calmed her down at some point. But that was a little. So. She was a little. The only tyrant
I've been associated with are full-size Dobermans, and
I've never met a full-size Doberman.
Lisa's uncle and aunt had two of them.
Okay.
And one was just this Ruby and Amber. And Ruby was the sweetest thing ever. Just a lover, like a lab almost. And Amber was scary.
Really?
She would look at you and she just.
So they weren't named.
What?
They weren't named Zeus and Apollo.
No, could have been probably. But they were tough, and Amber actually, I think there was they always were pretty protective. Let's just say very protective.
Yeah.
But once they liked you, they liked you. And I think after they passed, Lisa's aunt got a greyhound, a rescue greyhound.
Oh, nice. Those are interesting dogs.
They are, and the small head equals the small brain.
Yep.
That dog went next door and tore the throat out of the neighbor's little miniature something or other. So
seriously,
they're
wow.
Oh yes. They probably thought it was a bunny, and she was trying to run. And
Yep.
Anyway, my goodness,
that's
not good for neighborly. I think the HOA frowns upon.
Yeah, I would think so. So I have a question for our audience. How many people actually got going back to the movie reference, but this was a TV reference. How many people actually got my reference when I said not named Zeus or Apollo? Could also add was her uncle's
people.
name Higgins?
Zeus and Apollo, which would be also Blue Bloods.
Really?
Another hint.
That would make really that makes sense. Was Higgins in Blue Bloods as well?
No.
Oh, he's
but
dead.
The other person was.
Yeah.
Well,
he still is.
Yeah.
He wants to do another. I don't know
he's
if
still
he is.
dead. Yes.
I don't know. I don't know if he is. I think he actually might have. I think he might actually still be alive.
Why don't you ask? If only we had some sort of a technology.
That's what I'm looking up right now.
Allow us to. Are you?
His name is John Hillerman. John Hillerman.
Very good.
John Hillerman. And he died in 2017. So not too long ago. He could have been in Blue Bloods because Blue Bloods was started in. Hold on.
It's a long-running series, and they're just wrapping it up now, aren't they?
They are, but I think Tom Selleck is trying to get him to do another season or two.
Oh, I will tell you.
Tom Selleck is 80-something years old.
No.
It's close.
I'm going to ask.
He's 79. He's 79.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's always seemed older. I mean, he was in his 40s when he did Magnum.
He was not, was he? Well,
yeah.
Well, let's do the math. Probably so. Yeah, he would have had to have been.
Yeah, he was born in 1945.
Wow. Yeah, if I make it to 79 or 80, I would hope to look half that good.
Right?
He's a good actor too. He really is.
Yes. Yeah.
And you know who else is good? Is Donnie Wahlberg.
Yes. Crazily good.
He is really, really good.
Yeah. Is it? What's his? Oh, Mark is his brother. Mark is the other Wahlberg.
Yeah,
that's an actor. He's not. I mean, he's good too, but he's not as
Wahlberg
good.
Brothers.
I know there's so many.
I like Mark. I like Mark a lot. I do too. In the movies that he's been in. But as far as the series go, of course, Donnie shoots someone every week in.
Does he really?
So if you haven't seen,
I haven't watched.
Like
I haven't watched past the second season.
Would be. Internal Affairs would have a desk set up right next to his if it were, reality. He kills somebody every week.
They're all justified. It's all justified.
Well, clearly it's justified, but yeah.
So, go back to I didn't know when did Zeus or Apollo show up in Blue Bloods?
Gosh, they never did. No, but I was using the Tom Selleck reference because
I thought you said that. So Zeus and Apollo.
Then I was going to tell you we're going to trade in the Bavarian Motorworks vehicle on a Ferrari.
Yeah,
which we're not. Sadly.
So I would love. I've always had a crush on that Ferrari. Always wanted one. I worked at a car dealership. No. I still do. I mean, there's always room in a garage for multiple. But I used to work for one of the car dealerships that I worked at. I used to work for a guy who spent 20 years selling Ferraris. He was a GM of a Ferrari store in South Carolina. And I told him which ones I loved. And he said, "Oh, they're not worth shit." He said, they're just, that's kind of the run of the mill crappy. Everyone's got one type of thing.
Really?
It's kind of like a Boxster. Everyone talks about the Porsche Boxster. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, that's disappointing. What is that? It's not a 392. It's you're looking it up, aren't you?
No, I'm actually looking at my favorite one, which is not
which one?
392
Testarossa.
An F40.
Oh.
Yeah,
let's see.
Of the 1,350 examples of the F40, 213 were U.S. spec models. They may sell for as much as $2.8 million. Sorry, I'm kind of an F40 guy.
Mine, the one that I like is a 308 GTS.
Oh.
So look up. Oh, wait. No, that's the new. Yeah, it was a 308.
Yeah.
Which I think they still make. It's just, obviously it looks a lot better.
I have not shopped for Ferraris lately, so I could not tell you.
Ferrari 308 GTS, 1977.
Mm-hmm.
I want price.
Price.
Let's see. Last The last asking price detected for this listing, which was just a classic car, $75,000.
All right.
Which for
you
a
could
classic
buy
car for a 1977 is not very for a
you should-
1977 classic. It's not very much.
buy a couple of them. If I were
I
you.
should.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, he just kind of called it a shit car and left it. But anyway, just to come full circle on that, folks, we are wrapping up because now John and I are going down rabbit holes on the internet.
What?
Yeah, we are. Zeus and Apollo were the Doberman Pinschers that were
on
Higgins's dogs in Magnum PI. And Higgins was the guy who was running the estate that Magnum lived on. Anyway.
Magnum was played by
Tom Selleck.
Tom Selleck, who is now 79 years old.
Who's now 79 years old. Who was actually supposed to be the original. Come on, John, help me. I can't. No, it's just gone.
What?
It's out of my head.
Just say the original.
Harrison Ford. Harrison Ford was Indiana Jones. Tom Selleck was supposed to be the original Indiana Jones. Yeah, look it up.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I don't have to.
He had Magnum.
I have you.
He had already signed the contract for Magnum, so he had to back out. Yep. And that's when Harrison Ford got the iconic.
Was a good call, and
I do too.
And he kind of, on the other hand, Harrison Ford has done quite well.
Yes, he has. Yes, he has. Well, I think either way, it probably would have been fantastic.
I'll say though, Tom Selleck has aged better.
It's debatable. I think. Let's see how old Harrison Ford is.
Clint Eastwood too. Hey, where's your mustache? Well, yeah, but he's a Republican, so that's why.
Harrison
I did that for you mostly.
That was great. Harrison Ford is 81 years old.
Okay.
And
how about Clint Eastwood? Let's go full circle.
Clint is in his 90s. Clint Eastwood is 94.
Wow, is he really?
Yes, he is.
Wow. Yep. Okay, that's surprising.
Clint Eastwood.
Well, then he looks pretty damn good.
Yes, he does. For 94 years old. Let's see. Tom Selleck. Let's make sure I was right on his age.
You already said he's 79.
79. Yep. January 29th, 1945.
That's pretty good. So how old, what I want to know, and I'm going to have to check into this, and I want you to look, is the guy who's playing his dad on Blue Bloods. What is he?
What's his name?
106? I don't know. I can't remember. I will look it up, though.
No, I'm looking it up right now.
I'll get back to you on that. No, come on.
Well, I mean, it was already up on my screen.
Do that as a teaser. Let's do it as a teaser.
Well, okay, we'll talk about it off the air.
Back.
But we won't give it away.
We won't disclose it.
We won't disclose it right now.
No.
So his name, by the way, is Len Chiaro, and he is. Man, I lost the mouse. I was gonna say he is click and then stop recording, but it didn't work out like I had planned. Sorry, folks.
We can't stop recording. We have to say goodbye.
I know we do. So, folks, head up to PoddiMouths.com. Check out the merch store and all the good stuff up there. Look at the merch that John is sporting. Established in 2019. Can you believe it's been that many?
Goodness,
many years. We're 5.5 years in. I know. But head up there, check out our socials. John's going to start posting more. He promised. And I promise. Even though he's not on any of the socials and all that good stuff. But,
I don't care.
We'll see you again next week. John, peace.
See ya.
Oh, by the way, his age is
what?